All aboard the last train for Repentanceville, stopping at Slutsburg, Sinner's Land, and finally, your mother. And a lovely final welcome back to the Disciples Sacred Lands Road Planter Challenge for the Empire campaign. Starting with something of a confession, I unfortunately managed to completely F up the audio recording of this particular episode, so I'm doing a kind of voiceover after the recordings actually happened, unfortunately. So you're going to have to bear with me. It's going to be a little bit disjointed, but hopefully we'll plough through it. So anyway, we're starting off with Slutrus, who is still invisible. We kind of rewound time somewhat, so the whole capital sieging thing didn't happen. And I thought this episode we would focus on completing the quest objective the way it's supposed to be completed, which is converting 60% of the land to the Empire terrain. So I'm going to do a lot of exploring with Slutrus. I've got this ranger leader who is, I think we're obviously going to take that, need to take that, retake, should I say, that city that was taken by the dwarves. However, Gunther, whenever he pokes his head out of a window, it gets hit by lightning, unfortunately, or some sort of hellfire. So it's a bit of backwards and forwards for him. I think I was just taking a look at the spells available to us with that other mage leader there. This guy is doing a really good job of actually defending this city, which is pretty much the pivotal point, which it seems to be the city that everyone is concerned about. Bear in mind, I'm probably going to be cutting some of the segments of this, because the whole of by the way, the mountain clans pretty much summon a rock every turn and throw them at the city for whatever reason. That's why this guy has a marksman and 2 knights. Yeah, so I'm going to be cutting out some of the more duller aspects of this video. There's a lot of, and I say a lot of, very small individual fights, and it pretty much like I've left this this turn in so you can get a good idea of what kind of monotony happens on a turn by turn basis. I'm going to cut some of that out, so you will see the video just kind of jump obviously to another area or another point in time. I'll try to keep up with it. I can kind of see things coming up. I'm just basically watching this through the video editing software I use. So yeah, a lot of kind of city defense like this. This one doesn't go so well, so I think we'll have to retake this later on. Or maybe it does go well. Oh, there we go. Well done, give that guy a promotion. So yeah, huge number of battles like that. I think the overall video length, unedited, was about 2 hours, and I thought it's just too long, so I had to cut some of that down. This is Slutrus going up against a Sentry type unit. These are extremely common on this kind of landmass, representing a lot of Legion gatekeepers, as it were. Huge number of beasts. For some reason they go mad for beasts, much more than they do what's the single target equivalent? I can't remember now. Anyway, sorry, what am I doing? Casting some debuff spells. I'm using the scrolls that good old Wolfgar has at his disposal. Using 2 debuffs, Curse of Nagriel and the Legion's equivalent, so that's bumping their damage down by 30% in total. And because because Slutrus's party isn't going to get any experience from this, it's all going to be wasted. I think I'll make life a little bit easier with some Armageddon as well, which is basically just one-shots the mage leader within that party. I think the anti-paladin's still alive, yeah. So that makes the battle a lot easier.
Repent, sinners.
At this point, I think the legions have used up most, if not all, of their mana, as they don't seem to be that trigger happy with their spells, which is good. Gives us a little bit of wiggle room. So a lot of it is simply just going through the motions to try and get up to that 60% of the land converted. Nothing particularly exciting. We do have 1 or 2 things later on as I explore the rest of the map, don't worry. So it's not going to be all stupid little battles like this. So that's those out of the way. Oh, we're just checking the actual level of that leader. That's quite common. Maxing out the leader levels in the those Sentry type armies. I suspect this is probably me recasting invisibility. Yeah, because I think there's still a reasonable risk of them just throwing some pretty hefty spells which just knock out our backline instantly, which is a huge pain in the arse, because I think it's something like 800 gold to resurrect those now. I think this is just me killing a thief for shits and giggles, it would seem. Presumably it's to get the... there we go, it's to get that voice clip, of course. Yeah, so that's leveled up that mage leader, and the idea is to give him artifact law, so we can give him those stupidly overpowered artifacts, which increase his damage by 50%, his armor by 50, and also an initiative boost as well. Are we going to see another rock? Oh, of course we are. Lovely stuff. That's one of the main reasons I actually did a lot of editing in this one and cut out a lot of the enemy turns, because it's literally this. There's probably about 5 to 10 minutes of this within the entire 2 hours. It gets a little ridiculous. So to save you time, and I was going to say my sanity, but that's already gone, having played through about 200 turns of this. So the dwarves just generally make themselves a nuisance. They send a road planter out every now and again. Obviously the main threat is the legions. I think I'm telling myself I need to reinforce that city. So yeah, this guy gets artifact law. Then we can throw those super powered ones within his grubby mitts. There we go. And that pushes his damage up to just over 50 to all units, initiative of 60, which is really nice. And also the 50 damage, so he's going to take 50 armor, so he's going to take half damage from all sources, which is just lovely. I think this is just me flexing, taking out this army at this point, because why not? Taking the new mage for a spin. Nice and easy. Okay, good. And this is just reinforcing this city, as some of those guys can just be dismissed because I don't think they have any experience. So of course it's easier just to dismiss and rehire those, because it costs exactly the same, only you end up with a fully healed unit instead. Bit more exploration with Slus. I don't know what I'm pointing at there. That's the next city in our sights. 3 anti-paladins and a demonologist. I think I'll probably go beyond that just a little bit, just to use up our movement points, and then we swing on back in to take that city. This is fairly straightforward. There's quite a lot of single target damage, but Slus is still proving to be something of a damage sponge. It seems to be that her mage use these turns, unfortunately. Her healing has pretty much been... It's been alright. It's pretty much dwarfed by that patriarch now, because the whole party heal is just so much more useful, I think, anyway. Because the whole point of the army and battle strategy is to obviously split out the damage you're going to receive across multiple units anyway. You don't want one unit to be taking all the damage. So the patriarch has always been the most sensible choice from a healing perspective. Yeah, this all looks fairly straightforward. Yeah, if we had an undead or a legion's rock planter, at least we would have the option of paralysis. I know the legion's rod planter fears people, but if you use them in a siege type scenario like this, you just paralyzes them instead because they can't retreat, which is nice. Is that full heal? It is. And then we take this city, which is possessed by a possessed. We should have burnt every city down to ashes, to listen to your women and children suffer in the flames. What a lovely neighbour. The possessor's body collapsed lifelessly on the ground. Well, there we go. That's like the welcome party when you enter England for the first time. Just FYI. Yet another Sentry unit up there. Fully upgraded units, Pandemonius. All that kind of fun stuff. Hellish Gate's been looted. Unfortunately, almost everything has been looted in Demon Lands in this mission. I think we're about to switch off to a new scene. There we go. This is our lovely friend Boris, who has a lot to say, a lot of important things to say. I like to think that's potentially Boris Johnson while negotiating the Brexit treaty. Let's not get too political though. It's probably a bit too much hair as well on the face. Never mind. So yeah, I think this is the second or third city that we've captured. I'm kind of moving further north on this landmass, just to potentially or eventually take over the entire island, landmass, whatever you want to call it. I think this is me just popping a thief or a spy into the Legion's army just to see what this Sentry unit is. Really, really odd place for a Sentry unit. I'm assuming they put that there just so you can't snipe that city. But yeah, that looks a bit too spicy for us at the moment. They really like their beasts in these Sentry type armies, which is quite interesting. I think that's next on the list, grabbing that city and then potentially moving a little bit further north to take those two cities. They're not particularly important, they don't cover a lot of ground, but I think you're probably going to need it just to push yourself over that 60% land ownership objective. Gunther's making his way there. Spoilers, this doesn't work out well because they've got like 2 or 3 giants in that city. Obviously not 3. We'll go with 2. I'm exaggerating somewhat. They have at least 10 giants in that city, in the city defence. Okay, something a little bit more interesting. We were here in front of Swimbor Thanes. What was it? Swimbor? I can't remember the name of it. Basically, it's the name of something which sounds a little bit otherworldly. And it's unexplored. Swim form Banes, that'll do. So that sounds to me like your classic dragon name. And I did say this in the original recording, even though I've not been in there. So I'm going to pretend we've not been in it. So I went in this place actually blind. We didn't scout this with a thief or anything. But of course, I did do some pre-battle buffing in the form of some, I think we do call to arms. Because we've got quite a lot of armor at the moment. Sorry, a lot of mana. So, popping some holy armor, I think we've already did, and some call to arms. And then we just trundle on in there. Oh, maybe I put some potions on as well. Yeah, I'm thinking the potions aren't as useful here because we kind of defeated the legions in a separate timeline and obviously went after their capital to with great success after 4 visits, unfortunately. Yeah, so I'm a little bit more forthcoming in terms of using potions to get over this, because with this being the only ruin that I've actually found which hasn't been looted, you know there's going to be some crazy shit in there. Come on, in you go. Oh, yeah, I ran out of movement points, so I needed an emergency haste just to push us over the edge. In you go. So inside we find a black dragon and 2 of these rather interesting looking chaps. I thought these were like heretic soldiers or something like that. Very vague naming. So Black Dragon's only going to be going for our backline. These 2 dudes are melee type characters who are called, I think it's the Devil's Guard instead, yeah, Devil Guard. Heretic League Soldier, the Devil's Guard is a formidable fighter, doesn't appear in the Legion's roster at all. This is just like a standalone neutral unit which is just out there. Even though he looks a bit like, it's like a combination of the Bone Lord and some sort of Legions type melee unit. They do 100 damage. 250 HP, so it's kind of a little bit like what are the final upgraded ones for the legions? Infernal something or other, Infernal Knight maybe. So yeah, taking on that guy, take down those heavy hitters on the front line to begin with. Slutress is probably just going to have to heal herself just to heal through that initial damage from the Devil's Guard. But other than that, it looks fairly straightforward. The damage from the dragon is a little on the high side. Can't quite heal through it, but he's only doing a couple of points higher than what we can actually heal. So obviously healing 40 with the Patriarch, which is something like 40 to 45. So on a bit of a timer, but based on the huge amount of damage that the Angel's doing, about 230 damage there, that dragon's not going to last long, and we should be able to outlast this little party. Nice that this room was still unexplored while we got here. It would have been really nice to see some other things still unexplored, and I mean that's one of the downsides to Disciples when you get to this particular point. You're so far into the map, and you're so far into enemy territory that they've uncovered all this kind of stuff, and it's all gone, unfortunately. But it's nice to have one which is still there standing. It's 500 gold, and I'm waiting for it as much as you are. There we go. One Sword of Ages, which increases the damage inflicted by 50%, and the initiative by, was that 25 or 50%, something like that. Now at this point I compare that to the Bethrazin's Claw, because it's actually weaker than Bethrazin's Claw. So the Claw inflicts damage and initiative by 50%. I think the Sword of Ages only increases initiative by 25%. So there's some absolutely mind-boggling artifacts to be had in this mission. They cram it all in this mission. It's really weird. We got both of those artifacts from one of the Legion leaders. Oh, this is us jumping over to another interesting point. So we're in the other corner of the map, bottom left corner, which contains a white dragon, or contains a city containing a white dragon and a Imperial Priest, I think they're called. I don't want to call them some sort of Imperial Monk or something like that. But the Monk is the next level down. So we're going to pop a couple of protective spells and go up against this dude. With there only being one actual damage dealing unit in there. Oh, it looks like I'm being a pussy and still going for Air Ward anyway. Never mind. Yeah, there's only one damage dealing unit in there with the white dragon. This does do damage to all units, of course. Let's see, take a look at them. That's 80 damage, 80 air damage, should I say, to all units. Huge amounts of HP. Some say they live up to 3,000 years, of course. All dragons do, yes, thank you, we know the drill. Warded against the first attack. It's quite a nice looking attack, to be fair. It does get a bit more crazy with the attack that manages to actually hit us. That's the Imperial Priest, doing 80 healing to just one unit, so he's still healing more than Slutrus. Just to point that out there, it's very annoying that we get Slutrus up to the... Oh, there's that attack. That looks really nice. I like that. I like the effect of that one. Yeah, it's really annoying we get Slutrus up to max level, and she's still worse than an Imperial Priest. And the Imperial Priest gets a cool cape, even though he's going a bit bald. But I can sympathise with that, that's fine. But he's dead now, so the rest of this should be fairly straightforward. Again, the dragon is out-damaging our healer. So again, on a timer, but it's only a few hits away from death, so it's still nothing to really worry about. And we could plough through even if we did lose the healer anyway, but that's not going to happen. So this is taking that little island in the bottom left. Again, probably would have given it a wide berth, but we need every city that we come across, really, just to bump it up to that 60% land coverage. There we go. It's Urban the Warrior Priest. You are worthy adversary. There are many treasures in this city. Take them, and they will aid you in your quest to banish the demons back into the abyss. What do we get, though? Let's have a quick look. So we've got Banner of War, which is basically what we've got already. A Rune Blade, bunch of potions. What's that scroll? Didn't even look at the scroll. Dragon Shield. So yeah, that's the second Dragon Shield you can get in this mission. So you could dual wield those Dragon Shields and max out your armor up to 90, which is just crazy. It's like it's giving you enough to just go after a city guarding anyway. Anyway, another jump cut I think coming up to Dwarven lands, I think. Yeah, so I thought I'd have a bit of a change and go after some of the Dwarven lands because they've got quite a bit up here and we've never been allies with them, so it's all fair game. Going up against this one, and rather surprised to see an Alchemist and Ice Giant, and then the Alchemist starts buffing the crossbowman on the back for reasons I'm not aware of. He just really hates that wizard. The scary thing is that I think if the Alchemist buffed the Ice Giant, we'd have been in some real trouble, because that boosts the damage of a unit by 100%, the Alchemist does. Frost Giant I think is doing about 120 damage, so he'd be doing, I mean he's just done 96 damage to Slutrus, unbuffed there. So why the hell he's not buffing the Ice Giant is beyond me, because that would have been crazy. That could have been in a bit of a sticky situation, because we couldn't directly damage the Frost Giant because of that dwarf in the middle line as well. So absolute madness from the dwarves there in terms of their battle strategy. I have no idea what they were thinking. Finally gets to boosting, so we're going to see a nice big cracking amount of damage to Slutrus. Yeah, 200 damage. Honestly don't know how that would have gone if they buffed the Ice Giant. I think we'd have been in some real trouble. But because, I don't know what was going on. It's like they were just obsessed with just taking down the mage for some reason. Which is weird, because all the frontliners seem to go to Slutrus anyway. But there we go. They paid the ultimate price. There are no survivors in the city, my lord. What a pity. What a strange piece of dialogue from this guy. A certain irony in his voice there. What a pity. Oh well. So yeah, that's taken that city. Then Slutrus, I think, is probably going to turn our attention south to retake that city we took pretty much near the start of the mission. Probably another jump coming up to get us to that area. Here we go. So he's moving a bit south. Unfortunately, we have to get past one of these Sentry units first of all, so I'm expecting something a bit crazy from this one, as the demons have tried quite a lot to take down that particular party. Oh, it's just an Ice Giant and an Alchemist again. So again, I think this is me testing out what it was actually going to do. So that boosted the warrior leader up to max damage. That's 250 damage. So yeah, at this point, this is getting a little bit scary. So he whacks in. Unfortunately, he misses. Ice Giant does get a hit in for 100 damage. We can heal that completely between Slutrus and the Patriarch. He's boosting the Kingsguard again, understandably. He still misses again. Yes, he's having the worst luck, unfortunately, with this. Oh, it's only the Ice Giant which seems to be able to hit people, and he's unbuffed. So, sadly, they can't seem to crack this. And by the time he boosts him for the third time, he's dead. Which is sad to see, but I'm not really complaining that much. So I got really lucky with the AI's either erratic behaviour or just really, really bad RNG. But it's nice to see the AI suffering with it, and not just me every time. And I think with one last hit, that guy's going down, and we're done. That's more exciting than the actual city battle, so I think I cut out the city battle completely. So we retake that one. It's just me cycling through and ending the turn, I think. There we go. So yeah, that's that city taken now. It was just a couple of giants in there. And at this point, the Legion have taken some of those original cities down in that southern landmass you see there above the Legion's capital. That's just me Armageddoning a random Legion army. Going up against yet another Ice Giant. I don't know where the dwarves are getting these from. I'm assuming they are doing that thing where they leave a giant in one of their cities, and because it's the AI, they eventually just upgrade to a fully upgraded unit. Thankfully, due to the weakened state of this army, we still managed to get away casualty free, which is nice. That's both those guys dead. Just the ice giant, which we can heal through. So yeah, this is me travelling further south to retake those cities from the legions, as I think we're sitting on something between like 55 to 60% of the land. Obviously not 60%, because otherwise we'd have won, but we're a couple of percent points off actually winning the mission. I have to say it was quite the slog though. It was one of the less enjoyable missions. Well, probably the least enjoyable mission. Oh, I left this in because you get to see Vengeance of Ymir, which is quite a nice funky looking spell. And then some Icefall, of course, to follow that up with. So that's the back line dead. Very annoyingly. But yeah, this mission has been the least enjoyable simply because of the objective. I think where Disciples really shines is it's really hefty, meaty end battles. And there's just nothing like that here. There are a couple of interesting ones, like we saw with that layer that earlier, and big hacks in, was it the previous episode, something like that? They're always fun, but to have one really big final battle, which is this, by the way, spoilers. So essentially this is your final battle for the entire Empire saga. Based on the fact that we all those other ones that we did, like big hacks and that layer, they were completely optional. This is ultimately the final battle. I mean, you could say the entire Legion army was the final battle, but it's not particularly exciting, is it? So yeah, let's kick these dudes out of this place. And then I think, let's have a quick look. So I think us actually taking that city and changing the land under it, I think has pushed us over 60%, because when I go to end the turn, it suddenly comes up as the mission being completed. The intentional way this time as well. I don't think the game actually crashes here, which is a nice bonus as well. So I'm going to shut up, and then we can enjoy the outro and the ending together. Come on, get on with it. I'm probably waffling on with some sort of crap at this point.
The Empire's agony ceased with the destruction of the Legion of the Damned's last bastion. The Empire's efforts were rewarded as their exhausted forces arrived in time to hinder the unholy ritual long prepared by the Legions of the Damned.
There we go, that's it. And for the final cutscene.
When Imperial troops found the pagan sanctuary, the holy priests accomplished a ritual to seal the unholy gate and to complete the High Father's work that had begun 6 millennia ago. The once prosperous realm ablaze, the humans have but begun a long journey to rebuild their ravished empire. Tales about these epic battles and the disappearance of their royal heir would never be forgotten by bards long after these dreadful events.
I'm going to say that final cutscene's slightly underwhelming. It's just some dude on his own shutting a door. I mean, if it was that simple, why didn't it do it at the start? But whatever. Anyway, that's the end of the Empire campaign. Rod Planter Challenge. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. It was a nice increase in difficulty. I think the next on the agenda is going back to where I started, which was the Undead campaign, but we're going to do it with the mini challenge twist, similar to what we did with the Mountain Clans. So probably give us a while to set that up, and then we'll kick that off within, I don't know, probably about a week or two. We'll get that underway, because yeah, I really enjoyed the multi-mini challenge. So yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Should hopefully be soon. Bye for now, Questers.